Hey, we're on the phone today with Sonny Sandoval. He's the singer for P.O.D. They've got the 20th anniversary edition of their album Satellite out now, and they're also on tour. Hey, Sonny, how you doing today?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, I know this is the 20th anniversary edition of P.O.D. album Satellite that's out now. And first of all, I got to ask you, man, does it seem like it's been 20 years for you since this album came out?
More like 20 days. Time flies, brother. You know, you always heard that from your parents or, the older generation, but time flies. I mean, it feels like we just recorded that record not too long ago.
Well, I know this new edition that's out has the original album that's been remastered, and then you got a second disc here with all sorts of extras and, a lot of stuff even the super fans haven't heard before.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely for, the old school fan that just really cares about your band and loves all the details, you know what I mean? Only they're going to know. It's not for the radio listener kind of, they just have the attention span for whatever singles out, but there's still those fans like me that they love reading the inserts and they love knowing all the details, and that's the beauty about music.
And I know this time around it's coming out on vinyl as well. I'm guessing at the time maybe that album didn't make it onto vinyl. I know that medium wasn't really hot at that time 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean we had limited vinyl. The only record we didn't do vinyl for was the record before that, Fundamental Elements. But that's vinyl's kind of trending again. You know what I mean? It's back in popularity and stuff. But I think if the original Satellite record's like $500 on eBay. So the cool thing about this album is that it looks exactly the same. So, if you don't own the original, you can get the new one.
Excellent. Well, P.O.D. had success early on, of course, but you guys really exploded with the Satellite album. As a guy in his 20s, that must have been a pretty crazy time for you.
We'll never take that for granted. We didn't go mainstream or anything like that. We're just making music and touring our butts off. And, with the success of Satellite, it really just gave us the opportunity to go around the world and play music. So I feel like the luckiest guy ever to be able to do this. So to be here another 20 years, playing the same song, still having meaning and purpose, I'm grateful, man.
And I know one of the first things I noticed on the album when it came out originally, you guys had HR from Bad Brains on there. How was that working with HR?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a legend, man. We're probably the biggest Bad Brains fans. I mean, so we always wanted to do collaborations with people that we, respect and admire, and obviously HR was top of the list. And so, it was a long shot. Nobody at the time, there's always the mystery of HR. Is he crazy? Is he homeless? Is he in jail? Where's he at? And at the time, our A&R guy knew that we loved HR, so he somehow, I don't know, he got a hold of him, and he told us he was going to come in and do the song. And HR literally walked in with this big old kind of African Haile Selassie headdress and a parakeet cage with two birds. And he walked in, set his parakeets on the table in the studio, and walked right into the recording area and said, "All right, let's do this."
Wow. Well, Sonny, I know 20 years since Satellite, but, around 30 years for P.O.D. It seems like you kind of joined the band, maybe to keep yourself busy and help out your cousin. But, obviously you made the right call there. I mean, 30 years later was still on the road.
Yeah, it was, I was only 19. My mom had just passed. I was kind of, discovering my faith, and it was a way to stay out of trouble. It was a way to kind of just get things out. We've always been that kind of band. And, like I said, I never thought we'd last this long or leave San Diego, but I think God had a different plan, so I'm grateful.
And I know you guys are on tour now. How's that been going so far? It's got to be nice to be back on the road after all the stuff that we've been through here.
Yeah. It's been, we've been out for a month. We'll be out for another month. We're the guinea pigs out here. You know what I mean? It's still, we thought it was just, once everything opened up and it was like, okay, concerts are back, people are going to shows, but now with all the different concerns and different mandates in every city, state, it's different everywhere we go. So we're just kind of navigating through all that. We understand everybody's concerns or fears and, all that stuff. So we're just grateful for the people that show up. You know what I mean? A lot of it is just, people walking in the last minute, just trying to figure it out. But we're just glad to be here, man. We're trying to finish this tour healthy and happy.
Excellent. I know we're just here in Minneapolis at First Ave, so luckily the Minnesota date got off without a hitch. How's Minnesota been for you guys over the years?
Minnesota's been great. You know what I mean? It's different. Sometimes we're in Minneapolis, sometimes we're in St. Paul. You know what I mean? It's just different. And then, you guys are going through your own thing. You know what I mean? With all the political stuff, and then the things that happened during COVID. So people are just trying to figure out life right now. You know what I mean? So we just figure, hey, if we can play some rock and roll music and have some fun, maybe get everybody out of their normal, every day-to-day routine. You know what I mean? So we just want people to come out and live again.
Definitely. Well, Sonny, I saw P.O.D. a few times at Ozfest. I wanted to ask you, how important was that festival for you guys, and for the Satellite album? Because, that was right around that same time.
Just being, young kids making music, to be on Ozfest was huge. You know what I mean? So for us to get that slot and to be able to do that was amazing. And, just as fans, to be able to watch all those bands that we love, we're like, what are we doing on this thing? We're not even like a metal band, you know what I mean? But here we are with some of the heaviest bands in rock and roll, and it was like, oh, this is great. So we just, if anything, we're just fans out there, just getting to hang out with now friends.
Awesome. Well, again, the 20th anniversary edition of Satellite is out, and again, that's got that second disc with it. It's going to be out on vinyl. Is there anything else maybe coming up for you, or anything else we should be looking out for?
We're trying to tour as much as we can. Like I said, we're just testing the waters out here, but we'll be home in a month. We finish off in our hometown, and then we'll finish writing and recording, and then we'll just see.
Awesome, man. Again, it's been great speaking with you. I'm excited here for the new Satellite edition, and thank you so much for being with me today.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you. See you, bro.
And again, that was Sonny Sandoval, the singer for P.O.D., and the 20th anniversary edition of P.O.D.'s album Satellite is available now.